Good evening from here at the Great British Mickey Waffle. I was dancing along to the music. That was
Yep.
I was trying to do it as we came live. I was like, oh no. I always forget.
It's that red button in the corner which tells us we're live.
Yeah. I know, thanks for that. But yeah, I was having a little boogie on it down here. And I'm really excited because tonight we are talking about something I could talk about for a long time. So it's going to be trying to keep me to an hour. And I know all of us can talk about this subject for quite a while. So for people who don't know us, we're the Great British Mickey Waffle. We talk about Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, all sorts of things based in the UK. And this is our Wafflers Wednesday. So we try and keep to 60 minutes if we possibly can on a specific topic. If you want to find the rest of our content, you can do that either via our social media at Great British Mickey Waffle, GB Mickey Waffle at Instagram, or Twitter or Facebook, on our YouTube channel, which is the Great British Mickey Waffle, or let's keep it simple, just go to our website at www.gbmickeywaffle.com. So that's the tech, that's the important bit done out the window. And if you know friends who might enjoy some of the things we're talking about tonight, please do give them a shout, share it out, grab yourself a snack and sit back and join in with the chat. So I'm Claire, and then tonight with me to talk about the hotels at Disneyland Paris, yay, we've got Peter and Jill.
Hi.
Hi.
And Ben and Becca.
Hello.
Hello.
So all of us here have been to Disneyland Paris. And Ben, Becca, how many times have you been?
Three
times, yeah.
I've
3 or 4
been
times.
3 for me, 4 for him.
Yeah. And your annual pass holders.
Yep.
And Peter and Jill, what's your total?
It's been about 14 times
14.
by now. Yeah.
14.
And your annual pass holders.
We are,
We are, yeah.
Fantastic. And for me, I'm just, a mere 35
256.
just the 35, and I'm a member of the dream team for Disneyland Paris. I did that last year. I'm doing it this year, so I get to be one of those people that answers the queries on the official Disneyland Paris website for people who are planning their trips. I'm really
if I get
lucky.
Confused, I'll have to ask you, Claire.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not on the clock at the moment, Ben. I'm really lucky that I have had the opportunity to stay at all 7 of the Disneyland Paris hotels over the years. And I know that Peter and Jill have stayed at a few, and Ben and Becca have stayed at a few as well. So we can definitely chat about this till the cows come home. First thing, though, we've got some friends in the chat, and it's great to see people here. So I'm trying to think who was here first. It may even have been Lisa.
Oh, actually,
I think it was, yes.
Colleen.
Yes.
Colleen was here.
Hi, Colleen.
Yeah.
Colleen,
Hi, Colleen.
I'm so sorry, Colleen, that I underestimated your timeliness. So thank you for joining us.
And at the exact same time, I think.
Yeah.
It was
It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
We also
Lisa?
have a fellow waffler, John, who's
Yay.
in COS at the
He
airport on his
is.
way. Oh, no. That means your holiday is over soon.
No.
Yeah.
He's on his way home.
Good
We've
job.
missed you, though, so we'll be happy to have you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
You
definitely
can keep us
will.
to time. You can keep us to time, John.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it on Greek time because everything goes slowly in Greece. It's very laid back, so it'd be fine. It'd be a flat hour tonight. And then who
We've
else?
got
We've got Neil.
Neil. Hi,
Nice to see
Neil.
you, Neil.
Hi.
Oh, Colleen, thank you. Yeah, our trip was amazing. It seems like a long time ago now, though, already. I've been back at work for a couple of days and it's like, holiday? When was that? Anyway, time to start planning the next one. So tonight we're going to chat about the hotels at Disneyland Paris. And I was trying to think of the right strategy for this because there are 7 hotels. And when Disneyland Paris opened in 1992, they built the 7 hotels to represent different areas of the United States of America. So each of them has a slightly different theme and they represent different areas of the country or culture within the US, which is quite exciting because I don't think many other, as far as I'm aware, I don't think any of the other Disney resorts around the world have taken a sort of an entire strategy like that. Obviously, Walt Disney World's got a million hotels, so they all have something slightly different. And it's interesting that actually all of these hotels are now going to feel extremely cheap based on the prices for the Galactic Star Cruiser that were announced earlier today.
That is true. Two nights for 2 adults, $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know
Disneyland
they're priced
Paris
that
is gonna
middle of
seem-
August, but it's still. I'd hate to think what it's going to be on Christmas Day.
I like Star Wars. I don't like it that much.
So yeah, these are going to, the prices here are going to seem like bonus. It's going to be an absolute bargain, cheap as chips, as David Dickinson would say. So let's start at probably the most cost-effective hotel that counts as a value, and that is Ranch Davy Crockett. So this is the only one of the Disneyland Paris hotels that is not within walking distance of the parks. So at Disneyland Paris, there are 2 parks. There's the Disneyland Park and the Walt Disney Studios Park, and they are within a 5-minute walk of each other, just through a little bit of garden. Now, all the other 6 hotels are within a walking distance of both of those parks. But Ranch Davy Crockett, you have to have a car. There is no public transport and no Disney transport from that site. No. We have stayed there. It was winter when we stayed there. And actually, it's very like Fort Wilderness in terms of the layout. There are loops with cabins in each of the loops. And in the centre of the resort, there is a shop. There is that sells sort of provisions and drinks and food. There is a restaurant. There is a lounge bar, tavern. There's a swimming pool, which is quite nice. And you can park your vehicle outside your cabin. There's space for 2 cars to park outside your cabin. Inside each of the cabins, there are 2 bedrooms. So there's a double room with an ensuite with a shower. And then at the other end of the cabin, there is so that's the double room. I'll be honest, the space around the bed is not a lot. You have to sort of shimmy sideways sometimes.
Looking outside, it doesn't look like it is like up against the wall.
It isn't. They're not spacious in the bedroom area. I'll just leave it like that. The room at the other end actually has up to 4 single beds in it. So there are 3 laid out, and then there's another one slot underneath. So you can basically make the room one massive bed if you want to. So it does sleep 6. And then in the central section, there is a large dining table, which I think Ben showed a picture of. There's a sofa, and then there's a kitchen. So you've got a full kitchen with everything other than an oven. So you have a microwave, you have a dishwasher, you have a fridge. It has a kettle.
It's a lot more amenities than what you'd normally get in a regular hotel room.
Absolutely. So if you're going with a family, so obviously we went with the kids. And we took some breakfast stuff with us. There's a barbecue outside. You have a decking area with a barbecue.
I was going to say, did you use that during the winter?
No, we did not. But I think if you were there, but to be fair, I think if you were there in the summer, it might be quite nice to sit. You know, there's a table on the decking, so you can sit outside. You can grill in the evening, and it's quite a nice environment. It's very quiet because you're in the woods. So we were quite impressed, actually. Although the cabins are not made from wood, they are like I think they're made from like a polycarbonate or something. So they're not. They've got good heating, but they don't feel like a wood cabin.
Okay.
They look like it, but they don't feel like it.
The smell of a wood cabin.
Yes.
But in terms of cost effectiveness, actually, Davy Crockett is great for a family. So if you're going with 1, 2, 3 children, up to 4 children, then, or actually 2 families, you could easily share a cabin. Yeah, it's, and there's an ensuite in the double room. Then there's an extra shower room and a separate toilet. So facilities, again, they're not massive, but they're perfectly usable. There's reasonable storage, and to get to the parks, it is about a 5-minute drive. It used to take a lot longer, but they've built a new road, so you just literally drive out and cross the motorway on the flyover. But to go to the parks, you park in the main car park, so the main guest car park. So you do have the walk from the main guest car park, although there are travelators there to help you. So I don't know if any of you have ever even been to Davy Crockett. No. Is it somewhere that you've visited?
No.
It's come across on our list occasionally when it's like, oh, let's see what the cheapest hotel is to stay at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, that's really as far as it's gone sometimes.
Yeah.
because we usually travel by train. I mean, we've
And
thought about it because we're thinking of going by car next time, so it's kind of on the list to look at.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, that it does put a lot of people off, because
Mm.
you just can't use it if you're not
No.
driving your own vehicle, or you've got
Mhm.
a hire car potentially if you've flown in and taken a hire car.
Is it Uberable?
No, there is no
No,
public transport
no.
allowed on the.
Right.
So
Okay,
at the security
yeah,
gate, they won't allow Ubers, they won't allow taxis,
right. Yeah.
and there is no shuttle bus. So it is
Yeah.
a private vehicle only.
Yeah.
Many years ago, they did used to have a shuttle.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Many
Yeah.
years ago. They don't have it now, but they did have a shuttle.
Yeah.
Like Orlando, there are things you can do that are specifically to the place itself. You can look at the horses. You can do some ponyback riding. You can do some archery. It's pretty much like Orlando.
Fort Wilderness.
Wilderness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Fort
Did
Wilderness.
they have the golf
Yeah.
carts?
No, sadly
no.
not.
Ah, that's a shame.
I wish they did, because I'd go and do a Zach Brown style video. And you
Just
can't go
before-
kayaking either.
No. Just before we go any further, I just want to say hi to Wendy, who joined us. I think
Wendy.
just after we started saying hello to people.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. And also, Colleen said she liked my top, so thank you, Colleen. This is
And
part of
Lisa,
yeah,
it's a rental, sorry, a
Rental.
rental car.
hire car.
Yeah,
Hire
rental
car,
car.
rental.
Yeah,
Translation needed.
yeah. So back
So-
to the subject.
Let's move back onto site. So within a 20-minute walk, and I would say that's a leisurely place.
Yeah,
a
definitely.
20-minute walk is the Hotel Santa Fe. So Santa Fe is also classed as a value hotel. It is a cars themed sort of New Mexico style hotel. The front of it, as you can see, looks like a drive-in movie theatre. And it had an overlay put in about 6-7 years ago. Prior to that, it was sort of Mexican pueblos, very traditional New Mexico. But they've thrown.
That was the first hotel I stayed in.
Me too.
That was
Me too.
I think 1997.
Yeah, so we
Back
stayed there
before the
a week
cars
after the
overlay.
parks opened. Yeah, we stayed there a week after the parks opened due to a slightly horrific off-site experience that we decided we didn't want to stay in, and so we made a move to the Hotel Santa Fe for the time we were there. And I would say that the rooms are acceptably comfortable. They're not massive. They're not overly adorned with luxuries, but they're certainly comfortable, and the bed's comfortable. They're quiet. They've got
If
everything
you're
you
going to
need.
spend all day in the park, sometimes all you
Exactly.
need is just sort of basic essentials.
And I
There's
think
some
the car
There's some
theming's
decent
quite
car
fun.
theming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to be the same thing.
If you've got children, particularly who are into cars,
Yeah,
the theming is
That's
fun.
true.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
cone lamps are really cool.
yeah.
yeah.
I think they're really
Yeah.
cute, and I think that all the photos we've got of the rooms are standard rooms, so we haven't done anything fancy. The bathrooms are quite cute. They've had an overlay, so they've got like this sort of checkerboard across the tiles, and I know the bathroom mirror has like a big
arrow.
lit up arrow around it, which is
Yeah.
very, very
Cool.
good cars theming. Inside the hotel, there is a couple of restaurants, a cantina, and then a quick service style, and then there's also a lounge bar area. There's no other sort of leisure activity in this hotel, and the rooms are placed within small pueblos of about 10 rooms, so they're sort of sporadically spread out across what looks like sort of a desert area. So yeah, Wendy, basically they're similar to an All-Stars in terms of quality and layout and level of luxury. I would say I think they're sort of the basic level.
Yeah, the food court is not bad if you like, particularly if you like
Kelly.
Mexican. You've got a nice variety. The bar is a bit something and nothing for me. It's a bit kind of open. I prefer the bar in the Cheyenne. But but it's fine. One thing I do like is when you go outside in the dark and you look at the buildings, you can see the little silhouettes all around the top of every building. They've got things like cactuses and so on.
Yeah.
I like those. They're cute.
Just those little touches that make it more Disney.
Yeah. I think there's been some effort made in terms of the theming. I like it. I'm not sure it's enough to make me want to go back and stay there. But as I was saying to my daughter earlier, if it was a choice of not going or staying at the Santa Fe, I would very happily stay there.
Now, the very front of the building now has a Route 66 map on it now, which it didn't have before.
Yeah.
And if you walk around the grounds, you can still find some of the things left over from when it was just a normal hotel. There's the flying saucer.
From New Mexico.
Mexico. There's all sorts of things to look around if you look around the grounds.
Yeah.
Quite fun. And I think that just all of the other 6 hotels, well, 5 of them, because the Disneyland Hotel doesn't need it, there is the option of either walking to the parks. So the Santa Fe is the furthest away. It's a 20-minute but very leisurely walk. It's not going to take you that long if you're in a rush to get to the parks like I normally am. Or you can get a shuttle bus from the front of the hotel, and that delivers you next to the train station, which is just outside the parks. That's a 5-minute walk.
So it takes about 2 minutes on the bus.
Yeah. So if it's raining or snowing, then it's quite nice to jump on the bus potentially.
Yeah. Another useful thing about Santa Fe is that just 5 minutes walk out the front door, there is a little garage with a little shop that sells snacks at more realistic prices than you will find within Disney. So if you want to pay more reasonable prices for your packet of crisps and bottle of Coke, that's where to go.
Yeah.
That's a gas station for our Americans.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a petrol station, but it's the only one on property. So
yes, it is.
But they do sell milk and drinks, and I believe they sell alcohol there as well. So people don't want to pay the.
Should we say a quick hello to Heather?
Hi, Heather.
Yes.
Heather.
Happy good morning.
Yeah.
Hi,
Kelly.
Yeah, we're all good, I think.
This is our dream.
Hi, this is our dream.
Jeff and Angela.
There you go.
Hi, Jeff and Angela.
Oh, nice to have you here, Jeff and Angela. So the Santa Fe and the Cheyenne, which is the next hotel we're going to talk about, are situated on opposite sides of a river that runs up towards Lake Disney, which we'll show you some pictures of in a minute. So the Cheyenne also counts as a value, but there's quite a difference between the Cheyenne and the Santa Fe in terms of quality. So the prices often are not that different. The Cheyenne was originally a sort of 60s, 70s Wild West movie set theme. It's set to sort of be the Wild West. And it had buildings named after sort of Wild West movie stars.
Billy the Kid and
Billy the Kid.
Calamity Jane. And
so it's quite fun in terms of theming.
They still have those signs up.
They do. And it's set around a central stockyard, so there is a sort of a dirt track running through with sideboarding. So when you walk down next to the hotel rooms, you hear your feet banging. It's like standing in a hotel, a movie set.
Yeah.
The rooms, there are 3 different types of rooms. So there is a twin room which has got 2 double beds. There is a single room, a room with 1 king size bed. And then there's also a room which has got a king-size bed and a fold-out sofa bed. So it sleeps 3. So that's the standard room with the king and the sofa. And it's themed, it had an overhaul about 5 years ago to Woody's Roundup.
Yep.
So it's quite fun in terms of the theming, particularly if you're a Toy Story fan. These hotel rooms are reasonably sized, particularly if you're 2 adults. The theming is quite cute. There's got the I don't know if they've got a photo of the lamp. The lamps that they've kept in the room were there in the original theming, which is the cowboy boot lamp, which I love. They've kept them, which is great. Previously, prior to the overhaul, they used to have bunk beds in, so it was like a double bed and a set of bunk beds. But but they took the bunks away, which means that the rooms can only now sleep 3, not 4. So yeah, I think it's quite a fun theming. You guys have stayed there quite recently.
Yeah. It was our vlogs from last August where we stayed at Cheyenne. So we've got we did a room tour and a few sort of explored the resort.
Yeah.
And it was really good. The
beds are comfy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have a refurb because we looked at Cheyenne before, and the first time we looked at it, we saw the old pictures and thought, I'm not sure. And then as soon as we knew it was like that sort of price, because I compared it for Santa Fe, and it was only like £50 in it. It was not much, and it was it's worth the. I'd rather pay for Cheyenne every time than Santa Fe.
I would,
And I
think the theming is just so immersive. I mean, they used to play Western music.
They still do.
They still do sometimes. Every time we've been, they haven't been.
Since
but you walk down the middle of the street there, and you've got the Western themes playing, and it's just like you're in a cowboy film.
And there were horses hitched up to the middle last time we went.
Yeah.
So I don't think they still hitch the horses there, but I think they used to do sort of pony rides and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do that.
They do a meet and greet.
They do a meet and greet now with
Woody and Jesse.
Yeah.
So that's the important thing. All of the hotels, they will have a breakfast time, not during breakfast, but somewhere in the hotel will have a meet and greet with a character every day. So if you're staying in the hotel, and they are meant to be exclusively for hotel guests, you have an additional meet and greet opportunity, which at the moment is still socially distant to have a selfie, but you do have the opportunity. And I think that the Cheyenne very often is Woody and Jessie. They try and keep them just there, whereas some of the other hotels, I know that Sequoia tends to be Mickey or Chip and Dale, and then Donald tends to be over at Newport. So I think they try and keep
it surprised us because it wasn't at breakfast time that we saw Woody.
Oh,
it was
really?
in the evening.
Yeah.
It's about 7:30 at night.
Right.
Back to the room. And it was just
there's Woody.
Yeah.
Let's go say hi.
We've never done the morning ones because that is prime park time for us. That's when the park's quiet.
Yeah. So Lynn, I think that it depends on what you're looking for. DLP is, the hotels are quite a spread in terms of price, but what you have to remember is that the package price includes your park tickets. So I think I was looking at the price for next April quite recently, and for 3 nights, 4 days with park tickets for I was looking at 2 adults in a room. It was coming in, Cheyenne was about £740 ish for 3 nights, 4 days with your park tickets. So depending on how far you've got to travel and how much your travel is going to cost, then it's not cheap, but equally we can actually go there at the moment. I know you have to quarantine when you get back, but, that hopefully will change tomorrow. I think if you are someone that has never been to DLP, but you've been to Walt Disney World a lot, you might find it quite different, but it's not any worse, it's just different. And I always say that Disneyland Paris is a bit like Walt Disney World with a French thrown on the end. You may enjoy yourself, you may not, but that's okay.
It's much more based on Disneyland, I think, rather than Disney World. Yeah.
It's got a very, very strong European slant on it, so it
has. Be prepared to, when you do go, that you'll get the same sort of feeling as Walt Disney World, as in like we've used it as a place to go to get our fix between trips.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming more apparent that Walt Disney World seems even further away than it was.
Yeah. So I think the other thing to say is do shop around for prices. I've always found that the Disneyland Paris website directly is the best price for hotels and for the package, but your travel, do shop around for it. I don't tend to book my travel through the Disneyland Paris website. That's all I'm going to say.
No.
So before I get chucked out of the job, let's move on.
Can I just say that unlike some of the cheaper hotels in WDW, all the cheaper hotels in Disneyland Paris are smaller.
Yes, that is true. Yeah,
It is an easier walk to the main facilities.
Yeah,
they aren't very spread out. None of the hotels are very big, actually.
Very spread out. No. I mean, you can pay extra to be near the main facilities, and literally, it's a case of 5 minutes walk. Save your money. Save your money. It is not worth it.
And usually,
yeah,
that 5 minutes walk means that you're actually nearer the parks if you're further away from the amenities.
Yeah.
So it's
6.5 does the
one nice little thing about the Cheyenne too is they have a garden where they grow veggies, and the veggies are used in some of the restaurants.
Yeah. So the Cheyenne restaurant, what is there? There's the Roundup bar.
It's the Chuck Wagon is the
main.
Chuck Wagon. What's the name of the bar?
Is it Ruby's?
Red Garter.
Red Garter.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They also have a Starbucks.
Yes,
they do. Yes,
we booked it first.
Let's point this out. It has a Starbucks.
Yes. So
there is another Starbucks in the Disney Village, but that's the one.
Yeah.
The one at Disney Village is actually better priced. Yep. It's got another nice breakfast deal that's about €10.
Or maybe Okay.
Yeah. If your package
tips Wednesday.
If your package doesn't include breakfast, that's a decent option because the buffet breakfast is quite pricey. So
so that's a really good point, Jill, that actually none of the hotels at Disneyland Paris include breakfast. So the price that you pay does not include breakfast. They used to. They changed that about 6 years ago to make it room only. You can pay for the breakfast in any of the hotels, the buffet breakfast, which is actually table service at the moment. It's not buffet. And the prices are different depending on the level of the hotel, the same way they are in Walt Disney World. And just to say, if you are going to pay for the breakfast and you have an annual pass, or you're with somebody who's got an annual pass, you do get your annual pass discount on the breakfast in the hotel. So I found breakfast to be quite good, but if you don't want to spend your time in the hotel doing that, you can grab something in the parks. So we walk along the river and we come to the stunning Lake Disney. Now there should be a photo of Lake Disney, I hope. So Lake Disney is a huge expanse of water around which 3 of the hotels sit. So 2 moderates and 1 deluxe. So the first moderate we'll talk about is the Sequoia Lodge. Now, this is the first of the hotels which has a club level. And as a moderate, that's quite unusual. It's a bit like Coronado in the fact that they have the Grandestino club level. So this is a standard room in Sequoia Lodge. It is themed to be...
it's Bambi.
Yeah.
It is a Bambi theme, but the theming for Sequoia Lodge is sort of National Parks Lodge. Is what I'd say. It's a wood-clad building. It's surrounded by sequoia trees. There is a swimming pool indoors, which has 1 water slide. It has a really lovely bar. So this is where I think that actually the time of year that you travel to Walt Disney World, to Disneyland Paris can make a difference. So for me, Sequoia Lodge is a winter hotel. That's where I tend to choose to stay at Christmas or New Year or in the colder months, because they have a lovely lounge, Redwood Bar, and in the middle of the Redwood Lounge is a huge open fire with sofas and seating around it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. They have a couple of good restaurants, which Hunter's Grill is a favourite for us, even if we're not staying at that hotel. It's really good value. The food is excellent, and they have a seasonal theme to the restaurants. So last time I went to stay at Sequoia was sort of Halloween time, and they had a raclette which you could smell throughout the lobby, but it was it was really, really good. The rooms are spread across, so you can have a Montana room, which is near to the hotel facility, so that's in the main building, and then they have slightly further away rooms, which are literally 2 or 3 minute step away into a slightly different building, but they're all within a 5-minute walk of the lobby. And then Sequoia Lodge also has a club level, which is called the Golden Forest Rooms. Now, those rooms have a separate check-in area. They have... you get breakfast included in a separate lounge, and you also get in the same lounge a period in the afternoon for drinks and snacks. And there's a couple of hours every afternoon, which is great. But if you're in the parks, you may not want to go back to the hotel for your drinks and snacks. You may, but you may not. So the Golden Forest rooms are slightly different in size. They've got slightly nicer toiletries, slightly nice towels, and they are a premium charge, but not as much as you might think. So I've actually just booked Sequoia Lodge Golden Forest for next April, and for 2 rooms for 4 people was, I think it was £1,400. So
that's not bad.
And that was for 3 nights, 4 days.
Yeah,
we got 3 nights. 3 nights during February half term for £800.
Yeah, in a Golden
Forest.
Not Golden Forest. That was standard. But I've got a little video of that room because there's something special about that room. So here's our room at Sequoia Lodge. What's our room number? 2359. So we've got a king bed. Oh, and it doesn't come with a Becca in the corner, but she's there.
Nowhere I can stand that's out the way.
That's all right.
It's on the balcony.
Yeah, we didn't realise we had a balcony in this room, but let's go and have a quick look.
You got the special room.
You lucky so-and-so.
The only problem was it was the middle of February and it was really cold.
Yeah. I think I still would have sat out there just because.
Just because you can. Take your duvet out with you. Lisa, it does look like the Grand Californian. You're absolutely right. Hey, Chris, it's nice to have you with us. It is set. It does look a bit like Grand California or even Wilderness Lodge, but on a smaller scale. One of the hotels has a beautiful lobby, but none of them are quite as big as the hotels in either of the American parks. It's a lovely, warm, fuzzy feeling at Sequoia Lodge. I always think it feels cozy and friendly, and there's lots of wood and stone. It's a really comfortable place, and I always find it slightly cheaper, sometimes even than the Cheyenne. So when you're looking at your prices, do check carefully, because sometimes you can get the Sequoia for cheaper than the Cheyenne, which is I reckon it's about a 10-minute walk to the parks. So you save yourself some time.
And especially during February when it's cold and raining and you want to get back to your room as quickly as possible.
If you don't mind staying in the lodges, which are slightly cheaper, which are literally steps away.
Again, they're tiny moves.
Yeah, exactly. It can be cheaper. The only thing you have to bear in mind is that some of the lodges don't have an elevator.
Yes.
I think some do and some don't. If you have buggies and stuff and that's important to you, obviously bear that in mind.
This was the first hotel that we stayed at Disneyland Paris. We were immediately drawn to it, and it's still our favourite hotel. We were met in the lobby by Park Ranger Mickey, who was just happened to be strolling through in the middle of the afternoon, as one does. I'm hoping that during its time recently that they've been closed, they've had a little bit of a lick of paint and a little spruce up, because
Sequoia had a refurb about 5 years ago.
It could still do with a touch of paint, though.
It's high footfall.
It is,
but it's a very comfortable hotel, and I think price-wise, it's probably the most cost-effective.
Yes,
the rooms are good size.
When we stayed at Newport Bay, which we'll come on to, it was a lovely hotel, but we went for a meal and to meet a friend in Sequoia Lodge in the Redwood Bar, and we just thought, we should have stayed here. It's like an old friend. It's comfortable.
That's cozy. Exactly how it feels. You walk in, you just go, I feel comfortable here.
It's the same feeling you get in Walt Disney World with Wilderness Lodge.
I agree.
Comfy pair of slippers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it smells nice. It's got a nice shop in it. The Redwood Bar has a really great drinks and snacks menu. All of the right lounges have food as well at the back of the menu. They do a sharing cocktail that Anna and I shared, which was it was huge. It was great. we sat by the fireplace and had that. It was really lovely.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful.
The redwood bar, and then so that on the left hand side there, you can see that's the open fire, so you can get yourself all snuggled up on a sofa next to the fire in the winter. It's beautiful.
And if I remember rightly, the redwood bar does a quick grab and go breakfast of the morning.
It does, yeah.
Wow.
It does. So let's keep walking around Lake Disney. And I know someone asked about Lake Disney. Is it like Disney Springs? So no, Lake Disney literally is just the lake that the hotels are sat around. Thank you, Heather. There is an area between the hotels and the parks, which is called the Disney Village. Now, the Disney Village is something we need to probably address on a separate episode. It is absolutely 90s-tastic in terms of aluminium and neon, and it just is vomiting 90s shame all over the place. So it is up for a refurb in the next couple of years.
Old downtown Disney, Pleasure Island.
Yeah,
it's not even that nice. No. And it's a sad excuse for a area. There's a few restaurants, there's a Starbucks, there's a couple of nice restaurants actually, because the steakhouse is great, but
when the good thing about it today is like Earl of Sandwich. And
there is an Earl of Sandwich,
McDonald's and Starbucks.
It's a great Lego store, but it's not really. I just wish they'd do something with it sooner rather than later, because it irritates me when I walk through there, and I literally just walk through. I don't really stop. So,
well, the rumor is it's going to be part. The rumor is it's going to be part of this big investment. I
think you're right. I think it absolutely will be. Hopefully soon. Yes.
Yeah.
So walking around Lake Disney towards that lovely little lighthouse that we saw in the picture of the lake, we find Newport Bay Club. So Newport Bay Club is based around New England. It is Puddles would be very pleased with that photo.
He would.
It is a stunningly beautiful hotel. It's a New England style. It's quite sophisticated. And when I have people ask me which hotel they should stay at, I always say, if you're two adults on your own, this is a really nice hotel to stay at. It does work for kids as well, but I always think this is a slightly more adult-friendly hotel in terms of theming. I guess it does. You do feel grown up staying there. It's like the yacht club a little bit. And it feels a bit like the yacht club. So that's the back of the hotel at the lake. The front of the hotel has a big grass walk up. It's really beautiful, and it's a huge hotel though. And we always that's the front. So you have this big lawn at the front, and then the main door.
I never actually in the front of that hotel. No.
I took that photo from the end of the lawn by the car park, mainly to show that it was sunny at Disneyland Paris, which is very unusual.
Our room there was facing the front of the building, so yes, we've seen it. It's quite nice. Mm-hmm. It's quite nice.
So that's a standard room with a balcony. Most of the rooms are either a one king or two doubles. Again, it's a nautical theme, so you do have the boaty things and yachts around. Again, it's similar theming to the yacht club, I think. Really. The beds are cute. They've got nice headboards. The bathrooms are very standard size. They have a bathtub with a shower over. They're not enormous. This is another hotel that has a club level. So it has the Compass Club. It used to be called the Admiral's Club. It's now the Compass Club, which is on most of the rooms are on the 4th floor. For our American friends, the 5th floor. And they have a separate check-in. They have the lounge, like in the Sequoia, the Golden Forest. So you have the separate check-in for Compass Club, and you have the club lounge, which delivers breakfast and also the snacks and drinks later on in the afternoon. We've stayed Compass Club here, and the rooms are lovely. I don't necessarily think they're worth the extra money, personally, because of the fact that the hotel is a 10 to 15-minute walk from the parks. I wouldn't necessarily go back there. But the hotel's really, I think it's quite sophisticated. So it's got a nice lounge, which is very well appointed. The restaurants are excellent. So you've got the Cape Cod, which is a buffet, which is really, really good. And then the Yacht Club restaurant is outstanding. So the Yacht Club restaurant is one of my favourite restaurants.
We've always been disappointed.
Oh, really?
But
we've had some
always been
incredible
disappointed.
meals.
But I have to say, we've normally done it with the dining plan.
Okay.
And so I think with the yacht club, the set menu offering that you get on the dining plan is not inspiring.
No,
I think it's worth paying a bit extra.
Yeah, and just using the value of the.
Yeah.
So that's worth saying, that the dining plan at Disneyland Paris is different to the dining plan in Walt Disney World in terms of the fact that so at the moment there aren't any free dining plans anyway, but if you pay for the dining plan in Disneyland Paris, you get a set menu rather than whatever you want from the menu. You can use the dining credit value and then top it up. So, for example, the plus dining plan that you would get at the Newport Bay, the value of dinner is €34 per adult. So you would get €34 deducted from the price of your meal. So and each level of dining plan is a slightly different value. But so that you can use the value, but
the first time we ate there, in the menu, the restaurant was very different. It had a more sort of round the world theme. But I think it's settled down on the sort of New England clam chowder type feel now. And as I say, I think it's worth paying up a little bit extra because we weren't inspired by the dining plan.
So we've had I think we've eaten there 4 or 5 times, and every time it has been fabulous. So I think it really depends on what you choose as well. I think
I think so.
Like. In terms of lounge space, it's not massive, but it's very comfortable. There's a nice balcony area outside the lounge.
Because Sequoia and Newport Bay are like the same level.
They are.
Every time we've looked at the price, Newport Bay has always been a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
it is.
Sequoia, and that's always sort of swayed our way of going to it. So it's like
Sequoia.
In the official star ratings, Sequoia is 3, Newport
and Newport
Bay is 4.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
But I think they're very, very different feel hotels.
They are,
I think they're almost like opposite ends of the spectrum.
And we stayed there just before doing a cruise, and that was a Disney cruise, and that was the perfect way to start because you were in the nautical mood to start with.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the other thing is there's Newport does have a swimming pool, which is very, very nice. It has an indoor pool, and then it also has like an outdoor Lido deck, which in the summer is beautiful. And it's really, really comfortable with large changing rooms. And so, I think that the swimming pool area for Newport is great. It has like a ship in the middle of the pool, which is quite cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So, if you're there for 3 or 4 days and you've got time for a couple of hours swim, it's worth a visit. So if you stand at Newport Bay and you look down Lake Disney, up the other end, you will see the stunning Hotel New York. Now, this has recently been reopened back in June as the Hotel New York, the Art Marvel. So this hotel was previously New York Manhattan theme. It was probably my favourite hotel out of all of them. It's probably the one I've stayed at the most as well. It's a 5 to 7 minute walk from the parks. It's the closest of the moderate or closest of the hotels other than the Disneyland hotels to the parks.
Yep.
And I love the sort of 1970s and 80s. I suppose it was meant to be 1920s, but it was like a 1970s view of the 1920s hotel theme. It was beautiful. It was covered in apples. It was cute. I had an ice rink out the back for ice skating in the winter and things like that.
Oh, that would have been good.
But it was really lovely. However, the new retheme, it is now all about the Marvel. So it's been rethemed to New York Marvel. So this is some of the I have to say, some of these photos have come from some friends who are part of the dream team with me, and Alex was there the week after it opened. So she sent me these photos. Thank you very much. So they have lots of fabulous displays of Disney and Marvel art. So this is one of the Iron Man displays. And And there should be some photos of the standard room. Yes. So the rooms have all been rethemed to very sophisticated, very classy sort of marble theme. Every single room has a different piece of marble art.
Yes,
it is. Yeah. So there are over 4,000 pieces of marble artwork that were commissioned specifically for the hotel.
Wow.
And every room has something different, which is really cool. This is the main sort of walkway through the hotel. They put in a new lounge area and almost like a coffee bar, which is quite fun. They've got a new the lounge has been rethemed to the Skyline Lounge, and it's got a digital screen of New York skyline behind it that changes the time of day a bit, sort of Caesar's Palace-esque. And they've rethemed the two restaurants. So the used to be the Parkside Diner. It's changed name. I can't quite remember what it is now. Brain's gone blank. But the Manhattan restaurant has the most beautiful chandelier in the middle, which is meant to make you think of Asgard. Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is a 4-star luxury hotel.
Yep.
The prices
Reflect
possibly reflect that.
Definitely.
If you are a Marvel fan, I think this is a must do.
Yeah, we booked. Yeah, we're going. Yay!
Yeah. Thank you for
Bye,
Kelly.
So I think the retheme, it took about 2 years, and I think they've spent a lot of money and time doing it. I think it looks fabulous. I can't wait to visit it. They do have an exclusive sort of meet and greet area with Spider-Man, and then a suite of photo opportunity rooms within that for sort of very Instagram worthy photo ops, where you can put yourself in different Marvel movies. So there's a photo op where you're trying to pick up Mjolnir, and all sorts of fun things where you get to don a quantum suit, or so it would appear in the photo. So it's quite cool. They've got some fun things there, and those are exclusively for hotel guests at the moment. You can't use those unless you're staying there.
That will go very nicely with the new Avengers campus opening next year.
Yes,
it will. Yes, but I think it's been long awaited, this review, this update to the New York. I do still mourn the fact that it's another IP that's taken away that original theme for the 7 hotels. However, I do understand that we have to move forward.
It's still New York,
and it's still cheaper than the Star Wars hotel.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we
buy the Hotel New York cheaper than the Star.
We've got 3 nights booked there in November. 2 adults, £700.
Oh, but you've got to use your annual pass for that, haven't
that
you?
Is annual pass rate.
You use annual pass rate. Yeah. My fact that I know about the New York, it is designed.
It should be.
Yes, it was designed by the same guy who designed the Swan and Dolphin.
Yes.
And when you look at it, you can see.
You can tell. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And what was the term that you came up with that you mentioned, Jill?
Somebody I heard somebody talking. I have heard this mentioned in official literature. Starchitecture.
I love it.
That's brilliant.
Absolutely. Starchitecture. It's great. It's a great idea. So the hotel does have a fabulous swimming pool, which is themed around a subway station. It has a gym. It has a leisure area outside, which has got like a basketball court and a running track. And this is a standard room, the photos you're seeing. So it's really quite class. This is a standard room.
TV built into the mirror.
It is a TV built into the mirror, which is very cool.
That's very Tony Stark.
It is, exactly. I don't think that you have anyone talking to you. I don't think you can call up Friday or anything. But
damn it!
I need Jarvis.
I wish when you turn the TV on, Jarvis spoke to you. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
They've missed an opportunity.
I bet needs the hotel room.
Yeah. So there is a club level called the Empire State Club. Again, that's an additional cost. Club rooms are slightly bigger. They're on the top floor, so you get a different view. You can probably just about see Tower of Terror from up there. And you get your breakfast in the club lounge, and you get your snacks in the evening as well. separate check-in. And then the Hotel New York is the first of the hotels that has suites. So, oh no, sorry, that's a lie. Newport Bay has some suites. It has 3 or 4, I think. But Hotel New York has quite a few, and each of the suites have been rethemed to a different Marvel character. So you can have a Iron Man suite. There is a Spider-Man suite. There is a I'm trying to remember. There is an Asgard. It's Captain America suite, and then there's an Asgard suite. Or there is a random Marvel suite, which is just very classy. And they sleep up to 6 people. So the suites are very expensive, though. They look amazing, but they're very expensive.
Do you get the free fast pass?
So at the moment they don't. No, at the moment you don't, because there are no fast passes at Disneyland Paris.
This is true. That's true. Yes.
Yes.
Having to pay a lot of money.
Yes. So yes, Lynn. All the standard rooms in the Hotel New York now have a coffee pod machine, which is
yes. Hooray!
If you like your in-room coffee.
Yes, please.
So if you need, if you drink a specific one, bring it from home.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the New York looks amazing. I think it's definitely worth a visit. I can't wait to see what it looks like. And then the only other hotel that we haven't spoken about, and I left it till last because currently it is closed for refurb, and it's probably going to be closed until 2023, is the Disneyland Hotel. So this is affectionately known as the Pink Hotel. It is the hotel that sits in the entrance to the Disneyland Park. You literally walk underneath it to access the park. This is a view from a standard room, a specific standard room that gives you park view. There's not many of them. Yes. But it is very pink. It has a pink roof and a pink building, and it's very sugary. And the current theme has been sort of Victoriana,
with a slight
my only issue with that view is there's a tree in the way.
Yeah.
If
they could cut that tree down, that'd be perfect. I could get.
I think there's another hotel room view somewhere which has got a view over the front of the hotel. That's the room that we had, and that's a standard room view. I always, in this particular hotel, I always ask for a higher floor. I don't particularly like heights, but so this is a standard room in the Disneyland Hotel. It is a corner room, so it is a bit bigger than normal, but it's a nice room. So the current theming is, I say it's a bit Victoriana and chintz, and it has been closed down for refurb. It is being rethemed to princes and princesses.
Yes.
So we shall, sugary. It does look like a big pile of cotton candy in front of the park. That sofa actually is a sofa bed that changes into a bed, so you can have a family room, and they do have family rooms in this hotel which sleep up to 5 people. There are the only hotel rooms at Disneyland Paris that will sleep up to 5 are the Disneyland Hotel and the Newport Bay have family rooms. Other than the suites at New York, it would probably be cheaper to have 4 separate rooms at the New York. So that is the front of the Disneyland Hotel with my small person a few years ago standing there posing, as she likes to do. So you walk under that sign into, that's the view that we had from our room. That's a more traditional Disneyland Paris sky, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Disneyland Hotel has the Castle Club, which is their club level. The Castle Club is pretty special. It's quite expensive. They do have suites, and if you stay Castle Club, you actually get a separate elevator right down into the park. So that's very cool. That's I have not stayed Castle Club, and I need to. Just saying.
That's the one that you haven't. Only one you haven't stayed.
Yeah. So this is the lobby of the Disneyland Hotel. I hope they don't change it too much, but it certainly has a reminiscent feel of the Grand Floridian. And at Christmas
really
they have
nice in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells amazing. You can buy a bottle of the fragrance for about €60. Or you can order
there's a candle company somewhere that does the same smell.
There is. Yeah. I've got it, and it's not €60. And it's very, very nice. And at Christmas they do have a gingerbread house in the lobby. And the hotel is beautiful. But it does need a bit of a refresh. It needs a paint job.
TLC.
It does. It's the one hotel that hasn't had a refurb for over 20 years, so it is a bit tired in places.
Yeah.
The others have all had an update, but it's never been closed. They did some sectional closing off it about 15 years ago, but not everything got done. So it needs an update, and it needs a review.
It did have a Fantasia tinges to it, because out the front is Fantasia Gardens.
That's right.
Which is and the signs had Fantasia characters.
They did. They had the hippos and
I wasn't sure whether to be offended, actually. Oh, there's the gingerbread house. Yeah, because when I got into the shower in my room, they had the Fantasia hippos all in the shower on the wall. I thought, what are you trying to say here?
Do you know what?
I love it.
It's amazing, and because it is right there at the entrance to the park. It is it's such a treat to be able to. So, I mean, we tend to, if we can stay there, we do. And you go in and use extra magic time in the parks, and then nip back and have breakfast in the hotel. Perfect. The hotel restaurant looks out over the park, so you can sit in the restaurant in the evening in Inventions, or there's a California Grill. It's not the same California Grill, but it's called the California Grill. And you can watch the fireworks. It's even
posher than the California Grill in Orlando.
It's more expensive.
It is.
And then there's also a Cafe Fantasia, which is well known in Disneyland Paris family and friends circles. There's pictures of the music score for Fantasia all around the walls. And they do some cracking cocktails. I believe someone told me once.
How many did you drink?
I think Claire's tried every single one on the menu.
I had a favourite, and then someone else told me about a different one I'd never tried, and now that's my favourite.
I will say this: you can get the same cocktail, some of them, in all the different hotel bars, but yes, you will pay a lot more for it in the Fantasia bar. But it just means you have to stay there longer to get every bit of euros worth out of your money.
I think you're right, though. You're right, Jill, that actually there's a set, a bit like Disney World, there is a set list of cocktails that they do everywhere, and then each of the lounges has 2 or 3 different ones that are specific to that hotel. And they also do a really nice they also do a really nice afternoon tea and an amazing hot chocolate in Cafe Fantasia.
They do, yes.
Thanks, Nick. Which is a cup of hot milk and then a lump of chocolate on a stick that you stir in. It's really amazing.
Stir it in, There is a very special room in the hotel that only ex-shareholders can go in.
That's right.
Salon Mickey. We're ex-shareholders, so it is only for ex-shareholders, and you go into the park through a special door.
Yeah, it's attached to the hotel.
It's attached to the hotel. Yeah.
And I think
it's great.
I think that the other thing to say is that Disneyland Hotel also has a lovely swimming pool, but it's not very big. It has a spa if you want to go and have a treatment or a massage or a facial or whatever you fancy. And the convenience is, particularly if you've got small children, is just incredible to be able to, just before you reach peak meltdown time, to be able to pop out and have a half an hour rest. We've done that. And it's just amazing. But as I said, it is closed at the moment for refurb. So we just wait and see what happens in a year or so's time and what it's going to look like.
Robin, cool. Yeah.
But I have to say, I mean, obviously, most people's budgets won't necessarily stretch to staying at Disneyland Hotel every visit or even at all. But please, when it is open, pop in, go to the Fantasia bar, have a hot chocolate or have a cocktail, sit and listen to the piano, the pianist, and just chill, just relax.
And the other cool thing is there's a beautiful open fire in the lounge area outside the Cafe Fantasia, and because Inventions is, I have to give a big shout for Inventions restaurant, which is a buffet, but it is a high-end buffet. It is my favourite restaurant, other than Waltz, which is shut at the moment, at Disneyland Paris. it is incredible, the buffet. It's not buffet food, anywhere that has oysters and crayfish and that sort of thing on the buffet for me is a win. And I don't think the price really represents that. I think it's like €70 for dinner, and it's character as well. So and we've had the most incredible character interaction in there. I mean, unbelievably outstanding. And if you want to see that, you can I think one of the places I would say if people want to see that, go onto YouTube and look up Brian Hull in Disneyland Paris.
Yes.
And that is absolutely representative of how it works. And we've had some of the best stuff. Best stuff there. And they do a Sunday brunch at Inventions, which is a different theme every week. So it's really fun.
We did Hawaii, so we had Lilo Stitch and Chip and Dale and Mickey in their Hawaiian gear.
And you don't know which characters you're going to get in the restaurant either. So you might get Eeyore, you might get Goofy, you might get Pluto. But it's beautiful and the food's incredible. So
the name has changed quite a bit over the years, but they have been offering a very special meal for about €200 each, where you have a 5-course meal, and then you have your coffee and stuff up in the founder's bar, and you can watch the fireworks from the founder's bar. And that's amazing.
And you get cocktails at Fantasia Bar
as well.
Yeah.
I'm with Robin.
No, honestly, Inventions is. I hate buffets usually, but Inventions is a game changer in terms of food quality.
Claire hates a buffet.
Yeah, but I like. I'm not. Yeah.
When we did the brunch, there were some very elegant French ladies of a certain age who were sitting near us, who were completely ignoring the characters, and they obviously came here every week, and they came for the food.
Just the food.
And they just sat chatting and drinking their champagne and eating. Perfect. And
I need to know these people. They're my kind of people.
Nothing wrong with that.
Robin, we're going. I would say that if anyone is thinking of going when it reopens, they're going to go to Inventions for a meal, contact us and I'll give you my top tip, because there are ways to make it better for no extra cost. I think that I can't wait for that hotel to reopen. I'm excited to see what they've done. I'm hoping they don't change the feel of hotel too much. I hope they don't change the smell at all. But I'm excited.
Just a light refurb.
Yeah, just a bit of a.
But saying that, if what they've done to the Marvel Hotel on what it's gone to, does not. I
don't think it'll be as extreme as that. To be honest with you, I think it's. I think it'll be a light dusting of Princess activity.
Yes.
I think maybe just change the carpets.
The carpets do need a change, definitely. John, it's not even 3 minutes past 9. I'm bang on time.
By John's time, we should be going for another half an hour. So.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think, has anyone got any other questions about the hotels at Disneyland Paris? I think that we've sort of covered, we've done a quick whistle-stop tour of each of them. And I
if you were to recommend one to someone who's always been to Walt Disney World and never been to Disneyland Paris, what hotel would you recommend?
Is this for all of us?
Yeah, if we'll choose a hotel, I know what mine. I'll start. Mine's Hotel Cheyenne. I think that's just purely because of value, because you're going to be there for less days than you would be in Walt Disney World. And for us, it's always been that stopgap between our next trip. So I don't want to spend too much on like a Disneyland hotel if I'm only there for 3 days and I'm in the park a lot. It's finding that balance.
And the theming is terrific.
It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be Sequoia Lodge for me. Out and out always. I just love Sequoia Lodge. Thank you. You see, Robin agrees with me.
Yeah.
Sequoia Lodge has that homely feeling you've been saying. It's not too cheap and it's not too expensive. It's that kind of that nice Goldilocks hotel as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
For me, I think. Oh, go on, Jill.
Yeah, I'm going to say Sequoia as well. If it's that sweet spot, I struggle to justify the extra couple of hundred for Newport Bay. I can see where the extra couple of hundred's gone for Art of Marble, obviously. But yeah, it's that you're not going to spend ages and ages in your hotel room and in your hotel, but it's so quick to get back. It's lovely and comfortable and cozy. Just love it.
Becca?
Yeah.
Well, considering I've only stayed at Cheyenne and Sequoia, I'm gonna say Sequoia, just because it's that little bit closer to the parks as well.
Yeah. That 5 minutes makes all the difference.
5 minutes makes all the difference when you're trying to get to your AMH.
When you leave in the park at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And it's chucking it down. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is France.
Yeah.
It's always chucking it down.
Although I would have to say, if budget was no object, stay at the Disneyland Hotel just for the joy of being able to sort of nip out of the exit and be in your room in 2 seconds.
Well, if budget was no option, I'd be staying at Marvel, but
in a suite.
I think
Claire, what's yours?
I think that's a really important point, Jill, that actually it depends on your party, depends who's going, and where I would stay, potentially just me and Dan, or actually where I stay with Anna when we go, is different to where I would stay with my kids. But for me, I would still stick with the Hotel New York as my place of choice. I think the location is perfect because you get the views over Lake Disney. You do have to go through the Disney Village, so you've got access to all the restaurants that are there, and it's a 5-minute walk to the park. You don't have to pay the premium prices of the Disneyland Hotel, even though that's probably it's going to be a little bit closer, maybe. But although the refurb will push the price up a little bit more, I would choose, and I think the refurb with Marvel looks incredible. But I would, had it still been the previous theme, I would still have chosen Hotel New York, and actually, it's always been my favourite place. So much so, and I know you can't do it now, but previously when you used to get free breakfast in the hotels, and I remember this from years and years and years of visiting, so like the first 20 years that we visited with my family, we would stay in Sequoia or Newport Bay, and then we would walk over and have breakfast in the New York because people didn't check which hotel you were staying in. So you used to get like your Easy Pass, which showed you were a hotel guest. And it had in very tiny letters where you were staying, big letters, the dates you were staying. And we used to just go and walk over from Sequoia and go in and have breakfast at the Manhattan, because it was really nice, and you got cooked breakfast and nice table service. So
they actually used to let you have breakfast in the Disneyland Hotel as well.
They did.
They did a very small extra charge.
They changed that
to an enormous extra charge when they realised how many people were doing it.
So I'd still say I still have a very strong affection for the New York, and I think the new Skyline Lounge looks incredible. The new coffee bar area looks beautiful.
Wasn't there a story once where from like the buffets, when Disney changed it, people would kept sort of stacking the food and putting it in their bag and taking it into
you see that. You still see that at breakfast.
They still do, ham
and cheese sandwiches.
Have they brought a call bag with them?
No, and people brag to you in the queues about it, and they say, "Oh yes, I've got 25 ham sandwiches here." I think,
sorry, no.
I can't say with like cans of drink and things. That makes more sense.
I may have taken an apple now and again.
That's fine. That's fine.
I didn't make my packed lunch at breakfast time.
Tacky, don't do it.
Tacky and food poisoning heaven. Come on.
So those are our picks. I think there's a good span of hotels for most people, and that's just the on-site hotels. So Disneyland Paris does have a vast array of off-site hotels as well, which are a short train ride away that perhaps one day we will cover. I know nothing about them because I've only ever stayed on site. Other people know about them, and maybe we do a show for the off-site hotels in the future. Let us know.
Looks like it's going to be me and you, Jill.
Yeah, me and you.
Looks like it's going to be me and Jill.
We'll do a poll tomorrow in the Wafflers Arms. For everyone's favourite on-site Disneyland Paris hotel. So as we've spoken over an hour about it, I think everyone's got a little flavour of.
Yeah, which one do you think you'd like to stay at?
Yeah, there is
we'll put some photos.
One important thing I think that we've missed, and I don't know whether they're still doing it. If you come via the railway station, you can have your luggage sent back to the railway station when you finish from any of the Disneyland hotels.
You have to pay, but
you have to pay. It was €11, then it went up to €25
per room.
Yeah,
per room.
So you can do that in both directions.
You
can drop your luggage at the station.
That's right. Yeah.
I think for people who don't know, Disneyland Paris has its own train station. It's the Marla Valley station. It's on the Paris main line area, and there is the opportunity to pay €25 per room. I think it may have gone up to 30 now, actually, Peter. And you can drop your cases at the train station, and then Disneyland Paris team will deliver them to the hotel, and you can pick them up from the baggage room at the hotel, and then you do the reverse on the way home. So if you're staying at the Sequoia, if you're staying at Santa Fe, for example, you can drop your bags first thing in the morning, and you never have to go back to the hotel to check out or anything like that. So you can just pick them up from the station on the way home. So
I think it was important to mention that because it doesn't happen at WDW.
Obviously, yeah.
And also you do get the option if you do book a package, I think, through Disneyland Paris, that you can add it on and can do the train. So you don't have to deal with it. You can do it when you get on the train, hand over your luggage, and then you go straight to the park.
Yep.
So
Cool.
So that was fun. It was great to have a chat about Disneyland Paris for a change. It won't be every week, but exactly. Let us know if you want more chat about it, or if there's something specific you want to talk about, whether that's the restaurants or the rides, or actually you've heard enough about Paris.
The glotinis.
Oh, well, I think we are planning a cocktail show at some point in the future.
Yeah,
Disney,
we are. Yeah.
Disney to have a few cocktails.
Is that make a cocktail, or we're just discussing?
Well, maybe we should. I think we should do both.
Yeah.
So we might need to rope some friends in for that particular show for people who like cocktails, a Disney beverage. But thank you. It's nearly 9:15. John will be shouting at me.
Yeah, you've got another 15 minutes, Claire.
No, I'm being very good. So, in terms of following us, do catch up with our other content on our YouTube channel or on the website at gbmickeywaffle.com. And then thinking, we had a new podcast out just on Sunday, which is our August show, where Peter talks about his Come Disney With Me options. And we did discuss the candlelight processional in July. August, actually, wasn't it? We discussed it in July. August. That's very Disney, based on the fact that today the Halloween decorations are out. I see on some photos from a friend. So
in a few weeks it'll be Christmas. And,
exactly. It seems perfect timing to talk about candlelight processional. And next week we are talking. Oh, I can't wait! It's another one for me.
Brilliant.
So good.
Next week we are talking about the Jungle Cruise.
We'll be going down the Nile.
Yes,
you have to turn it down.
Turn down the Amazon.
So, I cannot wait to talk about this movie. We saw it the weekend. It will be puntastic. I will watch the movie again before next week. I think I'm going to pay for it on Disney Premier Access or go to the cinema again. I just loved it. So I'm very excited to talk about it.
I have a feeling that might go longer than an hour.
Yeah.
We could just
so if you
an hour of our favourite puns from the film.
If you haven't seen the Jungle Cruise, you've got a week to see it because there will be spoilers. But I would encourage everyone to go and see it.
And just give me a plug to something we've got happening in the future. Just put your date in the diary for October 1st. We know it's a busy day. Yes. And according to our polls on socials, you would like us to do a stream, even though we're not going to be in the parks, and a lot of people will be. Not only is it our 50th podcast, will be released that day, Walt Disney World's 50th, and we will do a special live stream. So we're not sure what we're going to do yet, but something will be 50 related, I would guess.
It'll also be our 1 year anniversary on YouTube Live. So
it's almost like we planned it. We didn't.
Yes.
All good things. All good things.
Cool.
And then we've got our next Wafflers Assemble Live on Friday, I'm going to say the 20th. Is that right, Ben?
Yes, Friday 20th of July.
Friday 20th of August.
That's the one.
August. Yeah.
For our next Wafflers Assemble Live. So we've got lots going on. And if If you haven't listened, I'm going to give a shameless plug to the Kate Herron interview. For anyone who hasn't listened to it, we did interview Kate Herron, the director of Loki, the Marvel series, and that is on our website and on YouTube and on podcast providers. So if you haven't listened to that, do go back. It's quite a short one. It's only about half an hour or so. She was amazing and super nice. So that went live last Friday. And there's a little bit of chat about behind the scenes stuff from the Loki series. So if you're a fan of Loki series, go back and have a listen to Kate's interview.
Also, there will be a Facebook watch party probably in the next week or so. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, you can join us and we can chat
about it as we go.
And just it was such a good interview.
Brilliant.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you very much for everyone. Merci beaucoup to all our friends for joining us to talk about Disneyland Paris. I can't wait for next week to talk about Jungle Cruise. I'm already thinking about it. So let's see everyone next week, which means there's only one thing left to say.
Waffle on.
Waffle on.
Waffle on.